people, and welcome to another episode of Developer Habits, a YouTube channel for software engineers interested in growth mindset, developer lifestyle, and technical tutorials. This is my 8th video where I'm gonna review other developers' portfolio. And if you don't know the background, then basically how it happens, I made a post in Dev.To, which is a community for developers. I asked different developers to submit their portfolios for reviews. And this is what I've been doing for the past week and the second time this week. The things I take a look at are my first impressions, the content and the structure of it, the design, UX, and also we're on the Google Lighthouse Report to see more information about SEO, performance, accessibility, and best practices. So with that said, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and hopefully we can continue. Yep. So we're going to take a look at 5 different portfolios today. The first one is Geshav. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So let's see. I really dig the colors already. If you've seen my previous videos, then I'm really into this simple minimal design, and basically if you make everything simple, I would definitely dig it, the design I mean. And yeah, the first impression is great. I really love that, it's light colors, some small image. You are doing what many of us do, saying hello and your name, but what I also like is that you have highlighted who you are. So when I land on the page, the first thing I see is your name and that you are a full stack developer. Now, if I want to continue reading, I can do that, but let's see. And that's a really nice call to action that you have here, that people can get to your resume as soon as possible. I would say this is almost a perfect hero area. You have like a really short introduction, what you do. Maybe you can make that part shorter, but not needed necessarily, because you have highlighted that you are a full stack developer. And I really like, as I said, that you have a call to action. So great job. You also have a navigation. Seems like there's also the use of colors is really nice. As I said, like this purple and black and white really goes together. But let's see what happens when I scroll down. So what can you do? Again, if you have seen my previous videos, what I've always said is that the second section on the page should be about your skills or experience or projects and whatnot. And this is what's going on here. You say that you can do website development, backend API, CMS development. By the way, great design, great use of icons, great cards. I'm giving too many compliments. So far, I really love the page. Feature technologies, again, following are a few of my technical skills and tools which I use frequently. So some people give like percentages of their skills, some people give years. What you've done, you just say that these are the tools that you know. I believe it's a solid way of doing it, because what are skills or what are the knowledge? In the end, it's important that you can get the job done, and I believe this portfolio really displays that you have a really wide range of technical knowledge, which is great. And again, great use of icons. At least this work. I believe this is one of the most important parts, and each portfolio should have some kind of portfolio, like to display your best work. And now this is the first part that I would maybe change. I'm not sure if the opacity here works when the cards are not hovered. When I hover, then there's this light shadow coming from the bottom of the card, but when I don't hover, I don't like the contrast between the text and the background image. So either make the cards or the background lighter, meaning that the image is not that visible, or yeah, somehow bring the text out more. That's what I would say. Yeah, but that's just a small thing I noticed at the moment. And the last part is about you. I personally think this is a really good structure for a portfolio website, that you talk about your skills, your experience and stuff like that, and if I am interested enough, then I can also go into the About Me section and read more about you. So really nice. And a nice contact information part, like how I can contact, and your profile also. So that's cool. Yeah, I really like the portfolio. Like, it has all the necessary information. It's following many of the best practices. For example, like the get resume call to action. You have brought out your experience, technologies, you know. Maybe you can improve the design here in the cards part, but other than that, I believe it's a good portfolio. It's a really good portfolio. Let's also take a look at the if it has a responsiveness, and yep, it does. Seems to work. And let's also run the Google Lighthouse Report. Like, if I were a recruiter or I was looking for people to work for me, I would definitely consider this as a strong portfolio. There are some small things you can do regarding accessibility and best practices, it seems. But defer off-screen images, meaning use, what's it called, lazy loading, for example. And ensure text remains visible during web font loads. Okay. So small things. I recommend you to run the Google Lighthouse Report and see what you can improve. But SEO score is great, performance is great. So, and that's what I'm going to say about this portfolio. Great job. So the next one is by Daniel from London, United Kingdom. Again, the first thing that I see is, well, your name and a call to action. I can contact you right away. This is great. But the question is, what do you want to highlight when someone arrives on your page? Is it your name? Is it what you can do? Like, you have a really short description here, but it's already requires more input from me to keep reading. Like, this is what I see right away, but now I have to put more effort into seeing what the page is about. I personally really like pages where there are like really few words highlighted that tell me what the page is about. So think about it. But the use of colors is really nice. I like the logo. It brings out that you are a developer, and I expected it to be a one-pager, which it seems not. But the overall structure and user experience seems nice. Also, regarding the icons, really good decision that you have highlighted like your LinkedIn and GitHub. So if people want to go there, they can do it right away. Let's go to experience. Again, a really good thing to do when you bring out your experience. Actually describe the journey that you have gone through. It really adds value because, well, even if your job hasn't been maybe related to programming, for example, there are still things you may have learned, and in the end it's important that people learn from their experiences. So I really value portfolios that have brought out their experiences. Let's go to education. Always a good thing to have. Really short, concise. Again, I would say it's a nicely done section. Skills. Now, under skills, I'd maybe think about adding some kind of links to projects, but I can already see there is also projects brought out here. And yep, this is what you've done. That you have highlighted the technologies used. with those projects. And again, you have described what the project was about, so that's also a really nice touch. Yeah, regarding structure and information, great job. A small conflict I have is that I click on skills, I get to see the skills that you have, but you also bring out those skills under your project. So maybe somehow those two can be connected, because there's not much information at the moment here. Or move skills under experience. No. To be honest, I don't know what to say here or what to suggest here. There's some kind of conflict in me that when I click on skills, I expected to see more information or already the projects. Interests. Okay. Yeah, what can I say, Daniel? I believe it's a really nice portfolio. The design is really solid. I would probably improve the landing page a bit, so that I would at least try to highlight that you are a programmer, so that it stands out from this text here. As I said, the navigation and everything is really nice, and there is some kind of conflict in me regarding the skills and projects and experience. Like, do we need a separate link to see your skills, or can it be combined with either experience or projects? But that said, I believe it's a nice portfolio. It looks nice. It is responsive, which is great. Although the logo seems to be a bit stretched horizontally. I'll zoom in. Yeah, here it's a bit stretched. Let's also run the Google Lighthouse Report to see how it's doing. SEO 100%. Great. Accessibility, green, great. Performance can be improved. First contentful paint. Let's see what's. I'm surprised, but you can take a look at yourself. So yeah, run the Google Lighthouse Report to get some details about the portfolio. But other than that, great job, man. Really a solid portfolio. So the next one is Mukul Sharma. Mukul. Let's see. So my first impression, again, I really like how developers say hello. It's really widely used. Most of the projects that I've reviewed make use of saying hello somehow. And many portfolios also make use of this transitioning text, which I am not a fan of, because I have to wait in order to see what's written here. First impression is all about the first milliseconds when you arrive on the page, and during those milliseconds, or let's say 1 second, you want to understand as quickly as possible what the page is about. So I would think about removing or changing that transitioning text, but that's just my opinion. I really like that you have a background image of yourself. That's nice. And let's scroll down. So I really like when people have about me section as the second section on their page. I've always said that at least highlight the skills, because if I come to your page, if I come to your portfolio, I'm mostly interested in what you've done, your experiences, your skills, and contact information. And this is what you've done here. As I said, I really like when you have an image of yourself, so I can see who is behind that page. So good job on the About Me section, specializing in. I can see that you have described what those fields are about, but maybe you can also talk about what you've done, or somehow bring yourself, not only describe what it's about, but focus on what value you can provide through those skills. Portfolio, always really nice to have that What does this plus? Yeah, this plus icon doesn't do anything at the moment. So why is it here? But it's nice that you have brought out the technologies. Although, for example, under WordPress, you could probably also mention PHP because WordPress is PHP. It seems like you've chosen the main keyword here, but you can also add more. Ooh, and blog. I love blogs because it shows you give back to the community. Ooh, and timeline. That's interesting. I've never seen anything like that before during my portfolio reviews. So that's really interesting. I mean, it gives some background, but is it necessarily needed? I'm not sure. I mean, I also wouldn't remove it because it's one of the last sections on your page, and people who are interested can take a look at it. So my overall impressions. When I landed on a page and I started scrolling down, I thought it's not gonna look that good because for some reason many people make use of this white and strong blue, but now when I scroll down, the visuals are really nicely done. It seems like you have an eye for design. The cards are really nice and consistent, although I would make them the same height just for consistency. But and also here, like the same height, all the cards. But oh, and what you can do about portfolio cards, add the same border radius as you have on the skills cards. So again, just for the consistency, to reuse as many styles as possible. And here also under blog cards. But other than that, I believe it's a nice portfolio. It's not super special, but it's functional, it works, and I get a positive emotion from it. Let's also see if it's responsive. Yes, it is. Although I can see that, and I'll show you also that the background image doesn't resize well, so it's not full width. You can take a look at that. Oh, and also you can think about the transitioning text, because I believe that landing area where the first thing that you see in that page must be as informative and useful as possible. Let's also run the Google Lighthouse Report to see what it says. And performance is really bad. Accessibility is good, best practices SEO are solid, but performance is really bad. See, first contentful page was 4.2 seconds. Maybe it's because of the large image. Yeah, and there are tons of dumb elements. Network payloads, maybe it was the image. Yeah, definitely it's properly sized image is probably it's the background image. Definitely take a look at the performance report and try to improve those small things, because at the moment the performance score isn't that good. The page looks great, it's really nice to use, but it has to perform better. With that said, I like this portfolio and I wish you good luck and keep up the good work. Now, next blog by Jimmy, I believe. Now this is something really different. Really interesting use of fonts. No, I'm not going to talk about the design at the moment. I'd like to talk about the fact how well you bring out the main technologies that you know. And again, team lead at Lambda School, full stack developer. Like there are like some things that that when I arrive on the page, I notice right away that, you know, TypeScript, Next, full stack web developer, team lead at Lambda School, many things, but I really like the image here. Now, I would probably make the navigation font sizes a bit smaller, and also here, because people usually know that the navigation is on the top, so you don't have to focus or bring them out that much compared to the content, because you want the content to stand out, and especially when I land on a page, you should have some kind of main things you want to bring out. At the moment, what I noticed is that, you know, TypeScript, Next.js, and you are a full stack developer. It's also cool that you already have those, the list of technologies, you know, if I want to read more about me, and contacts. It's really cool. Let's see what's under projects. GitHub links, also blog. That's really cool. Really, this design is, I don't even know what to say. Probably designers would hate it because it's not just visual wise, it's not the best, but as a developer, I must say it looks really cool, and it has this simplicity and I wouldn't say 90s vibe, but like when I was a beginner designer and I was developing my pages, this is what my pages looks like, and I somehow feel myself in that page, and this is what I like about it, and I believe you should keep those styles. It somehow is original, and I like that originality. Content-wise, as I said, I really like you have brought out your skills here. If I want to read more about you, I can do that. Visual-wise, make the navigation a bit, make the navigation use smaller font sizes. That's what I would recommend. But other than that, like, there are so many visual tips I could give here, but I don't want to, because I love the overall feeling that I have on that page, and I believe you've done a great job. Let's see if regarding content, it's freaking awesome that you have brought out a more detailed information about the projects that you have. It really adds so much value, because you analyze what you've done, and people who are more interested can read about it. So great job here. But how can I contact you? Okay, contact through social media. Probably I would suggest you to create some kind of footer, because when I navigate to your projects or blog, I still may want to contact you. And maybe you can link that part to one of your main social medias, for example. So that's it. Jimmy, I really love that site. It's really cool, and keep up the good work. Oops, I forgot to run the Lighthouse Report. Let's do that, just to check if it's performing well. And yeah, SEO is probably meta tag is missing. Yeah, meta description is missing. Take a look at that. And first contentful paint is slow. Serve image is in next generation formats. Small things you can improve. Run the Lighthouse Report yourself and take a look at those things. And yeah, it's responsive. I'm not going to go there. So with that said, Jimmy, great job. And this is the last portfolio. We are looking at Victor's. I'm going to try to pronounce it. Victor de la Four. Okay, I can't speak French, so I'm not going to try. This is, well, I don't know French that well. I studied French for 2 years, and my teacher said that Gedmer is a great guy, but he will never learn to speak French. I haven't done it. But anyways, it seems like it's something related to being a developer, or like, do you need a web developer or something like that. So this is the first thing that stands out. So, and probably this is a more descriptive way of you saying what you do. There's the PDF to your CV, some experience that you've been in a company, a full stack developer. Yeah, a really great landing page. Seriously, this is you talk about what the page is about, CTA or call to action to your CV. An image of yourself. Let's see what's under competences. Languages. And what Victor has done here is, how do I get back to the main page? Yeah. So what you've done here is that landing page basically summarizes all the necessary information, and now if I want to, I can go more in depth regarding the languages, frameworks, technologies, what you've done. This is an interesting way of saying that back-end, front-end, full stack. Do you talk about more about the project itself? No, you just link to the projects. I would probably bring out the main technologies I used instead of saying it was full stack, front-end, and so on, because it kind of links a project to specific technologies. And by looking at the technologies, I can see if you are a full stack or backend and so on. Just my opinion. This is the experience probably. Nice. And blog. This is really cool that you also write blog posts. Again, shows that you give back to the community and also makes you, shows your expertise. So great job here. So visual-wise, I believe it's a really simple, solid, functional portfolio. It looks nice. I really like the icon here, and as I said, that when I land on the page, I can see right away that this page is about being a developer. Probably you can make that font size a bit bigger because at the moment it's competing with your name. But other than that, I don't have much to add regarding design. It's a solid portfolio, like really great job. Is it responsive? Yes, it is. And let's also generate the Lighthouse Report, see if you can improve something small. No, solid green. I have nothing to say here. Great job, Victor. And I'm not going to promise you I will learn French, but I will definitely take a look at your Dev.To posts. So guys, that was the last portfolio for today. I thank you for watching, and please do let me know in the comment section below if that content was useful to you, and also if you like the content that I produced, then please hit the subscribe button below. With that said, that's actually the last thing I'm gonna say. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.